about people at home with a dog or a cat, and maybe their dog or cat doesn't like being brushed? Have you got any top tips for people how to calm their dogs down? I'm assuming we shouldn't be raising our voices and shouting at our pets if they're not behaving in a way we want them to. What advice would you give to people?
Loads. For me, it's all about positive reinforcement and making sure that you're calm in stressful situations. Dogs really pick up on our energies. It's like lots of people would say, for some reason, my dog goes for other dogs while it's on the lead, but when it's not on the lead, it doesn't. And that's, I think, mostly because if another dog comes along, there's something in us that goes, oh, there's another dog coming along. And then that energy transfers down the lead, and they know. Because they know us in a different way. Our language is different with owners and dogs. So if a dog's nervous, positive reinforcement, making sure that everything's okay and that you're completely outwardly calm. If you're worried about brushing your dog and you're thinking, oh no, it doesn't like me doing this bit, then the dog's going to get worse and worse, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It just happens. So you have to really make sure that you maintain an equal level of calmness.
Okay, and would you suggest keeping the dog on the ground? As I know in your salon, you would put the dog on a table to groom?
Yeah, so for me, dogs that don't like being brushed generally react differently if they're put in a situation that they're not used to being in. So if your dog's small enough and you've got a table, take the dog off the floor and onto the table for the grooming time. They really like a certain amount of regularity. They're creatures of habit. They love things to be like in rotation. I can't think of the right word for it. But they like, what's the word?
Like routine.
Routine, that's the word. They like routine. So if we can create a grooming schedule, a routine, then it gets easier and easier every time. So if you take the dog off the floor, as long as it's safe to do so, so if you've got someone to help you, you can put a towel on the table so the dog doesn't slip. And what you'll find will happen, well, it happens quite a lot, obviously not all dogs are like it, but what you'll find is the dog will stand still because they'll go, oh, what am I doing up here? Why on earth has my mum or dad put me on this table? And then they'll stand still for them because they're out of their comfort zone. It's not normal. And like I say, as long as it's safe and you can get the job done, then it works 90% of the time.
Yeah, so as long as they're safe and happy, I guess. And while they're on that table and you're brushing and you bath them, and maybe you've dried them off as well.
Yeah, you must make sure you use a hairdryer because once they're wet, and if you towel dry them, then just leave them, then that's going to create matting. So it's going to be even worse in the future. Okay. Best to use a hairdryer. And also it gets the dog used to listening to the hairdryer for when they go back to the groomers.